Okay, we are live. Welcome to Tom Trips Out. I'm in Phnom Penh in Cambodia. 2 weeks ago I moved to Kampot in Cambodia, but I'm here for the weekend because my band is playing 2 shows. We did last night and we have tonight too. And I just finished staying at a hotel back there. It's the morning now. And I'm gonna walk to my old neighborhood where I used to live. There's a bar called The Deck there. I'm gonna hang out there because the owner said he had some rooms above the deck and I could stay there tonight after the second show. So I'm gonna go there and hang out and have lunch and then maybe touch base and see the room. And I don't know what state the rooms will be in. Like, it's a 10-room guest house above the deck. But it's kind of like not in operation fully to the public. It's like the employees stay there and they're still trying to make it a business kind of. So I don't know how, I'm gonna take a look, and if it doesn't look good or doesn't look clean or something, I might just bail on that and go back to the same hotel. Sorry, I can feel a lot of wind, so if you hear that, I'm sorry. I'm trying to block it with my hand, but we basically just have to walk straight for like a kilometer and a half. Then I can answer any questions you have about like, living in Cambodia or moving here or becoming a teacher. I have links below if you're looking for a reputable TEFL course. It's the one I did. You can do it online at home, or the best part is you should do it in the country. That's the option. So you could do like most of the work online at home, but it's not immersive at all, and you're doing it on your own and just clicking a mouse and not paying attention. When you come in person, you're with a class of other people and you make friends and you can role play and you're actually here in the culture, and they send you to schools and you observe real teachers and you can practice too. So the in the country one's way better, but sometimes people want to chip away at it slowly in their own time, so then you could do it online. I've got links below if you want to check out their website and read all about it. It's government accredited, and then they line you up with a teaching job coming out of it, and that's like the best part. A lot of people are worried they won't be able to find their first teaching job. It's like 11 a.m. right now. It's not too hot. It's probably like 30 or 29. Say hello in the chat, or where you're from, or give me a topic to talk about. This whole week, so it's Saturday right now. On Monday, my phone broke. The battery got swollen inside and it stopped working. So luckily, deep in my luggage, I had my old iPhone 7, which is also in really bad shape, but it works. I put my SIM card in there. In the last 4 or 5 days, I've been surviving by just keeping it off most of the time and only turning that iPhone 7 on when I need a ride or a food or something. Knowing that I was coming to to Phnom Penh this weekend. And there's some really good Apple repair stores here in Phnom Penh. And also 4 months ago, I had the battery replaced. So I wanted to go back to the same shop and be like, hey, the battery you replaced is messing up again. So I did that yesterday. I went to the shop. And the battery they put in there, they have a 3-month warranty on their work. So I was like, oh, that's the battery you put in. And then he goes, oh, it's been 4 months now. And he's right. So I'm 1 month out of the warranty and the battery swelled up and stopped my phone basically. So he goes in the back and he's looking at it and he's talking to the other people. And then he basically, long story short, he came back out and he said, we'll repair it for free. Like we'll pretend it's under warranty. So that was good news. You guys can write things in the chat, you know. It was good when I planned this weekend. We originally only had the one show on Friday night, and basically I was going to break even, like all my costs of that cheap hotel and the transportation from Campod and all that stuff was going to add up to basically what I'm getting paid. But then now they added a second show. So basically I can just keep all that money from the second show. So I'm going to come home with like $40 in my pocket. And it was like a free weekend in Phnom Penh because the first show covered all the costs. Because I want to come once a month to Phnom Penh and make videos. But that costs money to do that. So I'd like to plan it around having gigs. So I still get to come out to the big city and get some content and everything, but I don't have to pay for any of the bus and all that crap because we'll play a show at night and that'll just pay for all that stuff. So instead of me just like planning it randomly and paying out of pocket for everything, get a gig or two and it helps cover everything. And then when I come home, my camera's full of clips for like 2 or 3 videos. And then I'm not losing out on Phnom Penh stuff, even though I live in Kampot. Oh, someone's writing stuff. Hey, way deep inside. Van Run. What's up, Tom? Where are you heading to? I'm going to the deck in Tul Tompong. I think tonight I'm gonna sleep above there in a guest room. So I'm gonna go there and have lunch and maybe touch base with the guy and see the room. And my friends were joking that like, oh, it's not even a real hotel. It's gonna be like a room that people rent by the hour and stuff, you know. Like, I don't know, I gotta assess it, and then I'm sure it's great. That's a great neighborhood and everything. I don't need anything fancy. Natural. Let me get some shade, hang on. Just roasting. So this is a school right here. You could work here. Oh, Melton. Okay, neutral perspective. For someone with a bachelor's, associate's, master's degree, and TEFL with $2,000, would that person be sufficiently prepared to go to Cambodia to get a job to teach English? Well, you're way overqualified. Like, all you need is the TEFL only. In Cambodia, you don't need any degree or any school accredited. Like, they don't even check that you had high school. Like, but you need you should. If you don't have high school, do that first. But you have to have a TEFL. So one thing that might be bad for you is that you're so overqualified that you'll hit a ceiling. Like, you know what I mean? You can't. You're so qualified, they'll be like, wow, we can pay you this much. And you're like, well, actually, I also have a master's degree, so you should give me more. And they're like, we can't go any higher than that. You know what I mean? So then you're not taking full advantage of all your accreditations because they can only pay so much. But yeah, you're totally more qualified than if you're interviewing for a spot and there's 3 or 4 others. With what you just said, you're way more qualified or a more impressive resume. Now, money-wise, that's about right, 2,000. But that's cutting it a little bit tight. 2,000's a little bit tight. Like, I think like 2,000 is exactly what you need probably, and you don't want to get to 0. You know what I mean? 3,000 could be better. And here's a reason you never would have thought about maybe. Most schools, so first of all, there's nothing standardized, so it could be all different from school to school to school. Even the textbooks, the material, the curriculum, their rules, their hours, their time, their vacation is all independent and separate from each school to each school. So you can't really say what it is, but they all usually follow the same thing. What did you ask me? What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Is 2,000 enough? So most schools, they'll only pay your salary once a month at the end of the month. And what some of them do is they're on a 2-week lag, which you might have at your own job in your home country. Do you know what I mean? When you get a paycheck, you're really getting paid for like the 4 weeks that started 6 weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? And the most recent 2 weeks is not counted on that paycheck because there's a 2-week lag. So you could plan that your 2,000 will be exactly enough until you get a job. But then when you get hired, if it's the middle of a month, like June 15th, let's say, you'll have to work 2 weeks and then everyone gets paid on June 30th, but you'll get zero because those 2 weeks don't count. It's the 4 weeks before those 2 weeks that everyone's getting paid for. So you'll have worked 2 weeks. Everyone else around you is getting their paycheck, and you've only worked your lag, so you don't get any. Sorry, it's so noisy. So if you started in the middle of a month, your first 2 weeks, you'd work and then not get any paycheck because everyone's getting for the 4 weeks before you started. And then it's July, let's say, and now the next paycheck's not till July 31st. So literally, sorry, I'm so long. You would in that situation, you'd have to work 6 weeks before you even get any pay at all. And you might not have factored that in. So you're 2,000, okay, it's going great. I've got like 400 left now, and I got a job, and I got an apartment. You know what I mean? And now that little 300 or 400 you have left, you won't get a paycheck for 6 weeks. And then you might have a rent come up or in that time, or and food and you'll start to get real tight. So 2,000 might be good to last you till you get the job, and then you'll have another 6 weeks till your salary. I know that might sound confusing. So that situation was if you started in the middle of a month, right? If you start at the beginning of a month, then you would get half a paycheck. So let's say you started on June 1st. It's basically everybody's getting paid from the 15th to the 15th is the time you're getting paid for, and then they give you the check on the 30th. Does that make sense? Anyways, so I'm just gonna change the subject because I've been talking too much about that. So just in a really 1 second way to say it is if you come here and do a course, that's going to be 4 weeks or so, and you'll need money for that. And then after that, if you find an apartment and a job, and the apartment, they want first and last, you got to put that deposit down. And then, overall that first month or month and a half or two, you're shrinking your money, and you're going on trips, and you're going out drinking, and it's shrinking, and you're like, I got a job, I'm going to be fine. And then you realize you don't get a penny for 6 more weeks. That's a long time. Or if you start at the beginning of a month, you'd have to work a whole month, and you only get 2 weeks pay. Do you know what I mean? It's a 2-week lag. But you're not far off. When people ask me that question, how much money should I bring? I would say 2,000, but Maybe bring 2,000, but it's nice to have maybe access to more if you needed it, or a credit card, or I don't know, like. It happened to one of my friends who was a little behind, and he just needed, like, it was like another 10 days and he was going to get a huge paycheck, but he was stuck moving apartments, and so I lent him 200 and then he gave it back to me. But you might not always have people you can ask for that, like. And then neutral perspective. There's a course, I mean, there's a school you could look at for working, like after you have your TEFL and there's one school here. I couldn't work there because you need to have a degree. And most of the time in Cambodia, you do not need a degree. I don't have a degree. I was teaching grade 8. But then there's like 1 or 2 or 3 really expensive private schools, and they're very high end, and those teaching spots are more competitive, so they're able to say, we ask that you have a degree, you know what I mean? They're trying to narrow it down and get the best or whatever. And judging by your qualifications or accreditations you said that you have, that you might want to look into that place. So it's ACE, like ACE, but like there's a dot after each letter because it stands for something. So look into like A.C.E. You know, ACE, and in Phnom Penh. And that's, if you want like almost double the pay of an average school, that you should check that place out, because you have, since you have a degree and a master's and a whatever else you said. Do you enforce the Oxford comma? What is that? God. This guy, he couldn't even just back his car up straight. I was just waiting that whole time for that. It's like there's a big temple coming up there in the distance. When do you use the Oxford? Write a sentence where you've put it in there, the Oxford comma. I'd probably just call it something else. And hey, if you like lots of content about Cambodia, subscribe to the channel, because I'm active. I've started a new posting schedule where every 3 days there's a proper video. You know, it used to be every week or 10 days. Now it's on the dot. I'm making them ahead of time and scheduling them so they're like clockwork. Every, oh, I know where we are. Every 3 days at 6 in the morning on the, like, every 3 days, a new video post at 6 in the morning. So there was one yesterday, so the next one's on Monday morning. And it's gonna be about a market. I bought this backpack. Whoops. I bought this backpack at a market in Kampot, and the local night market. And so that's what the next video is gonna be about. It's a very active channel. I do these live streams on my phone. I do shorts, so, you know, subscribe. What are you waiting for? I'm always, look at that left turn into oncoming traffic, and then that way. It's like, when am I supposed to cross the street? Everyone drives like they're just in a field or something. Like they're just a bunch of kids bike riding in a field. That's like how the driving rules are here. Like just anywhere you want to go and take the shortest way you can. Like why would I go straight and take a left turn wide, the safe way, when you could just cut a really sharp angle across all the lanes, and it's much shorter. and safety is not a factor, so they don't, like, doesn't matter. There's another one. Well, it's too far away to see. It's especially the left turns. They treat it like they're turning left on a one-way street, even if it's not a one-way street, though. They don't have driver's ed here, or, like, you know. Gotta go straight across here, down that road. I'm gonna have to go halfway and do the other half after. There's no such thing as a pedestrian having a right of way. You never get a turn as a pedestrian. So you have to just force yourself out in there, in the flow. What I like to do is make sure it's not a big vehicle. There, he's blocking everyone now. But now I have this side. I could have ran right there. But again, when it's SUVs, I don't like running in front of an SUV. Or you go like this. See, he's blocking everybody now. You wait till a big minivan blocks the whole intersection, and then you just follow with them. I think I'll step right there. See that? What if I didn't wait there? There's no consideration for people that are walking. Like, no way. They treat you like you're walking on a freeway or something. Like, what are you doing here walking? There's no, like, stop and wave me across. Like, never, never, never. Then I have a friend that went through the AVSE course, and he just did it. Sorry about the wind. I can't do anything about it. I can feel it, though, but if you can hear that. And you might have even seen him in my live streams. He was with a bunch of South Africans that came. His name's Jordan. And he came out of the course maybe 3 months ago, or 3 or 4 months ago. And he's got a job, and it's going really well for him. And I'm like, wow, that's like a big success story. And he's really happy with how everything's going. And so, and he's never been to Kampot. And so he was saying next month, hey, next month he wants to visit me in Kampot because he's just never seen Kampot. So I was like, yeah, come out and we'll show you around or whatever. And I proposed I could interview him. You know what I mean? Here's a AVSE graduate, you know, other than me, who can tell you how they feel or what's happened to them and like their story and what they get and all that stuff. So that'll be coming soon in a month whenever he comes out to Kampot. I'll make a list of like 6 questions or something, and open-ended questions to get them talking about stuff. And if you have an idea for anything you want to ask a teacher here, you know, other than me, I'm going to interview someone that's become a teacher like for the last 2-3 months they've been working. And if you suggest some things you want to know or you want me to ask, I will, if I like it. If you ever watched my videos before, that's the noodle place I go to sometimes. So we're almost there. Look at this guy going way too fast. Both of them. Yeah, you can't go. That's the other thing. They'll see that I need to cross and they just speed up. Like there's, like stay on that side. I'm in between health insurance providers right now. I actually don't have like a set up health insurance. For my first teaching job, I got set up with like there's a national thing called NSSF here. And it's kind of just like the Social Security, like it's kind of like the really basic coverage that everybody gets if you had a job here. But it's so basic. Like it wouldn't cover me if I broke my hip bone and my whole leg broke in half on a motorbike accident or something. Like it's more for like a checkup or some small thing of pills or something like. So I'm only covered for like the most minimal thing. So I need to get a real health insurance. So and I'm gonna do that very soon. And I'll make a video about that. And it's especially because I'm gonna buy a motorbike soon. And if I'm driving around on a bike, I don't trust the other people on the road are gonna hit me and something like that. And then my parents will be stuck with a $10,000 medical bill. They're not down with that, so we both agreed, me and my parents, I need to get health insurance if I'm gonna have a bike. But anyways, my whole point is I don't rush across the road right now these days because I don't have a health insurance. So when I'm laying in the hospital one day, I'll be like, oh, if I just waited another 10 seconds till it was clear. It's not worth it. I'm like sweating all over. It's good. I knew I'd be doing this walk and this would happen, so I kept the same t-shirt on from yesterday. So I didn't. If I put a new shirt on, I would ruin that shirt in just a half an hour. Getting to this. So now before the show or sometime this afternoon, I'll shower and change, and all my clean shirts are still clean. There's that barbecue place I got a fish at like 2 weeks ago. You could go see that video. I bought a barbecued fish off those guys. Did a live stream. And all that stuff about the paycheck I talked about, and there's a 2-week lag with the salary and blah, blah, blah. The reason they do that, it gives them time to process everything too and get it in the direct deposit, but it's really so that if you turned out to, like it doesn't work out with, you don't like your job anymore or whatever, and you're thinking you'll just abandon, like you'll just say, like without any notice, you just stop showing up and stop answering them. They've got those 2 weeks on you to make sure that you quit with proper notice, and you, like as long as you give the 30-day notice and you follow the contract, then you'll get that 2 weeks pay like the next month. So like you'll quit, and then that next month when everyone gets their paycheck, then you would get that 2 weeks lag that was outstanding. But if you broke the contract somehow, they could just keep it. And they do that, they say that it's for, they have to like make a phone call to an organization and hire a last minute substitute teacher to come in, and that's why they keep your money to, it's Because imagine you'll have like 5-6 classes with 25 kids in each class, and you just stop showing up without telling anyone. So they got to have some deposit on you so they can use that money to hire a substitute. You know what they did at my school? That's what they said they would do, but you know what they do instead? So we had a teacher bail, and they kept their 2 weeks of money. And then all they do to everyone, they come to all the existing teachers, and we each have to cover one for them. You know what I mean? Like, so throughout the day, I have spare periods where I would mark things or create a lesson plan or, admin work. And the vice principal comes over and says, Tom, okay, you're spare at 4th period. You have to cover so-and-so now. And then the person beside me, oh, you'll cover them in the 1st period. And so it's kind of like all the existing teachers share. We take one extra class each and cover that until they hire then in like a week they hire someone. And they keep that money. Okay, we're really close now. Now I've got a members section in this YouTube too. There's a link below for that. I post extra videos, exclusive, that only the members can see. It's $4.99. And I post what I'm eating or behind the scenes. When I'm making a video, I'll pause for a second and just take out my phone and show what's going on. And now that I've been scheduling the posts ahead of time, 3 days apart, what I usually do is I can post it for members first, it's called. So I can post a new video and make it so only the members can see it first, and then set a certain day where then it becomes public. So I'm doing that now that I'm ahead of myself. I can do that for like every video. So you'll get to see my real videos first, and you get extra stuff. Like this morning, I did one for members in the hotel. And this live stream I started outside of the hotel walking away. So you guys don't know what the hotel looks like. And I made a video in there, but it's not going to come out till next Sunday. So it's like you have to wait 8 days to see that budget hotel in Phnom Penh. All the members got to see it today. So it's stuff like that. So it's $4.99 a month. And what I always recommend is just sign up for 1 month and quit, so it's not ongoing. I won't be offended if you quit. Like, even if you're just my member for only 1 month, I'm very grateful. So I think what some people have done is you do 1 month and binge everything, quit, then wait 4 or 5 months. And over that time, I've been making a whole bunch more. And then 4 or 5 months later, you join again for just 1 month and you binge everything that's new now. So it's like every 4 months, you could do 1 month and binge everything you haven't seen or whatever. There's also the option for super thanks or sending donations in the chat. Help me out. Buy a coffee, buy a sandwich. So we made it. And so I might be sleeping up there tonight. I'm gonna try to charge my iPad here and get a drink and maybe some lunch soon, and then I'll text the owner of this place and be like, hey, I'm hanging out in your place. When can you show me the room upstairs? And how do you get in at 2 in the morning? That's the thing there must be a back door like around the back of this building, because this big folding thing like unfolds and it's just a big wall across here. See these doors? They accordion out and it's just a big wall here that says the deck. I doubt I'm gonna have a key that's gonna like unravel the whole front door of this place. Like, There must be a little... Nah, that's the other building. It must be around the back. So yeah, if you have any questions for, I'm going to interview a teacher. So if you have any questions you want to know and ask someone who's teaching here and they're South African, put it in the comments or write it anywhere and I'll see it. And until next time, remember, how you spend your days is the way you spend your life. It's never too late to start tripping out.